code space dot enter, VS Code will get open. Code space dot enter, VS Code will get open. JavaScript people can log out. People who log in for JavaScript, they should log out. So CMD, VS Code is open. Now, again, which command you have written yesterday to compile it? npm start. Open the developer guide. Yesterday you have written. Open the developer guide file. Open developer guide. बोलिए सर. बोलिए. अभी तो क्लास में है. ट्रिपल एट नंबर है ना, उस पर कम्युनिकेट कर लिए. मैं आपको एक नंबर भेजता हूँ, उस पर बात कर लिया, वो गाइड कर देगा पूरा. Started. Open the developer guide page. You have written yesterday somewhere. React developer guide. Something we have written till rule number 2. One more is there. We can make a note and then we can. एक मिनट रुक जाइए. Okay, go to the third number. Third number, what we need to write? We need to write the similar thing. If inside a component, if again inside a component, if inside a component more than one JSX element is required, JSX element is required, then the parent tag can be NP tag also. Then the parent tag can be empty tag also. Okay, so same thing. This section we can copy and we can paste here and we can make it as a empty. So this is also valid line. This will also work. Even we have seen something yesterday. Okay, next after that, one more point we have written yesterday. So first let's write this much. What we wrote saying like, in a component, more than one element is required, then in a component more than one element is required, then the parent JSX element can be empty tag also. The parent JSX element can be empty tag also. The parent JSX element can be empty tag also. Right? Now copy the third point and paste again below and change the fourth and write it all. The parent element can be array also. Array also. Here we can write the square bracket open. Here a square bracket is closed. After that, this will be the same thing, but comma is required after every element. Comma we should keep here after every element. Comma is required after every element. Okay, so hope these 4 rules are clear. Okay. Now next we will understand the flow inside the React. Where to create the file, how to call the file, how to link the file. Okay. If that flow is ready, then after that we will jump and we'll create the file and we'll start displaying inside the page. Okay. So third point was same thing, everything, but this line was different, saying like the parent tag can be empty tag also, and you change here. Fourth was also the everything same. The parent tag can be array also, and where we have open the square bracket, close it, and then after every element we kept the comma. Last comma is optional. You can give also, or you can skip also. Okay. Then go ahead. Next. Okay. Next, we will see this design. So everyone have written? Now let us look at this design. Suppose you are going to open a website, you are going to open a web application that is developed in React. Okay, that is developed in React. So you will be as a user, and again you will open your laptop, and inside the laptop you will open the browser, and inside the browser you will enter the URL or IP address. What you will enter? You will enter the URL, that is called domain name, correct? We enter the domain name only, no? We enter the domain name. Now what is the domain name? Any domain name you remember? Anything else apart from that? GoDaddy is the company name. They sell the domain. That is not domain. GoDaddy.in is the domain. Okay. Flipkart is not a domain. Flipkart is a company name, where Flipkart.com is a domain name. InfoCampus is a private limited, whereas infocampus.co.in is the domain name. Okay. Gmail.com is the domain name, correct? So website name you see .co.in, .org, that is called what? Domain. Will remember or forget? What is the domain name? Website name is called as a domain. Okay. Now website name, the website name will be linked with the IP address. IP address will you remember? InfoCampus IP address last 7, 8 years, 10 years, I have not remember still what is the IP address. But domain name I remember. So server will remember the IP address, and IP address will link with the domain name. Understood? User cannot remember always IP address. User will remember the domain name. Domain name will link with the IP, and IP will be linked with the server. And the server will have a folder, and inside the folder all the files will be there. Clear? In your system you create a folder and you keep a file and you run the file directly through live server. Similar way, in the server also there will be a folder. Inside the folder there will be file. Now the IP address will point to the server, and then in the server we have to link with the folder. Okay, so in the server IP address will link with the folder. After linking in the folder, IP address will convert into domain name, and domain name will be remembered by users. So as a user you came and you remember a domain name, and you open the laptop and open the browser and type the domain name and enter. Now browser will give the domain name to the 7 layer of internet, saying like, take it and search and show me where it is. Now what will happen? IP address will go to whom? 7 layer of internet. Okay. TCP IP protocol 7 layer of internet you have, that will capture the IP address. Sorry, domain name, and it will convert into IP address, and it will start searching on internet where this domain belongs to. One server will say, sorry brother, it's not with me. Another server will also say, sorry, it's not with me. One server will come and say, yes, this IP belongs to me. Then what will happen? Server will redirect to the folder and file will open in front of it. That's called a website. Okay. Okay, so that is the one structure. Leave that. You are into the React now. You develop it first. Once you deploy, then you will come to know how it is happening. Okay, so user will open the browser, and in browser he will do the input and output. Input will happen through the HTML, and output also happen through the HTML only, right? Input output will happen through where? HTML only, no? Correct. Okay, so that's why I have created two lines here. One is for input purpose, another is for the output purpose. Now look at there. This is a server. Their front-end language is used, and using the front-end language, one application is developed, and that is using a library of JavaScript called React. React UI. Okay, this project is running. Let me give the name here. Call UI master. That is not developed in this. Just I'm giving you the example. Okay. Next, after that, inside the React, this is completely React folder where you develop the project. Okay. Now, inside this React, you saw the folder structure. What are the folders you have? You have one folder called node modules. If you see inside, you have a folder called node modules. Up dekh sakte, you can have a look. Node underscore modules. Okay. It is going to hold, it is holding all the libraries that is required to develop the project in React. All the library, whichever the library is required to develop a project, everything is inside. Okay. In case if something new you want to install, we'll guide you how to install. Once you install a new module, that will also come and sit here only inside the folder, folder wise. Every module will have their own folder. Okay. If you look into the folder, you will find one more folder that is called public. देखिए, see once you have a folder called public. You have a folder called public, is it? Yes or no? Is there? Public folder is there. Go inside public folder and let me the file name. What is the file name inside? Any HTML file is there? What is the file name? Index.html. Index.html is the default file. One file is there. So in your overall project, okay, in your overall project, whichever the project you have only one file, index.html. Only one HTML file will be there in your complete project level. That is called index.html. Remaining all will be different file. Okay. Now, when a user comes to the browser and user open the website, which page is interacting with the browser? Index.html. It's a true always. Okay. Whether Angular project, React project, PHP project, any project. Okay. Interaction when it happened to the browser, right? When the matter will come to display, do the input and output in the browser, HTML will take the task first. Okay. HTML is only the language made that will take care of your input and output. Okay. So input output will happen through the HTML. Now, this HTML, if you open the file, you can't find any line of code. What is coming in the output? You have written in the app.js file. Remember yesterday, which file we have written? App.js file. Look at here now. How communication is happening. Go to the SRC folder. Now remaining area is a SRC folder. Node modules, public folder, remaining area is the SRC folder. So inside the SRC folder, you will find the next file. That file is called app.js, as well as one more file will be there called index.js. Check once. Any file is there? Index.js. है कि नहीं file देखिए? Is there file? Index.js, right? So index.js is responsible to give the data to index.html, and index.html will be responsible to deal with the browser. Now this index.js also, if you see, you will find very 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of code, no HTML. Because index.js is not going to generate the content. Index.js will get the data from this file. That is called app.js. Yesterday code we have written, some modification we did. Which file was that? It was app.js file, right? It was app.js file. So this app.js file now will be one file where you have done modification yesterday, right? So I'm making both the double arrow mark because it says input and output. Input and output both will happen here, not only input, because of that double mark arrow mark. Okay. So app.js file is giving the data to index.js. Index.js is giving the data to index.html, and index.html is giving the data to whom? Browser, and you are sitting in front of the browser. If you modify anything now under the app.js, it will reflect directly in the browser. Correct? So folder, hope you have seen. Let me guide you again. Let's go here. Look at this. You have one folder node modules. Another one is called public. Another one is called SRC. Inside the SRC, we have a file, index.js, index.js, and one more file is called app.js. This is the basic structure of your React project. Okay. Now further, only this much is not sufficient. Your project will be not only one page. Project will be of multi-hundred, multi-thousand pages and all that. So how that will be? Let me guide you. Suppose in your project, you have a requirement of one login page. So you have to create a file called login.js. Assume you have a requirement of sign up page. You will create signup.js. Assume you have a file called maybe dashboard. You have to create a file dashboard.js. You will have some product. You have to create a file called product.js, right? You may have one more file that is called maybe user. You will create a file user.js, user list.js. Let me write user list.js. So how many pages? So many pages. Now this all the pages, how you are going to link? So this is one file. This is another file. This is one more file, right? This is another file, and this is another file. Multiple files we got. Now this all the files you should not link with the index. Okay, this all the files you should not link to the index, because index is directly in the touch with the index.html. Hacker will reach directly to the index and they'll come to know what are the pages you are calling. Okay, but in fact it will not happen. It will become executable program. No one will come to know where the content is coming. HTTP is like this. Let me guide you. Okay, I'll use little fat line here in different color as a blue color. Dashboard will link to, dashboard will communicate to app.js. Product will communicate to app.js. User list will communicate with app.js. Sign up will communicate with app.js. Login will also communicate with app.js. I have not made any folder. Assume under the SRC folder you created 5 files: login, sign up, dashboard, product, and user list. And this all the files you are going to link to the one existing file that is called app.js. Now app.js is already dealing with the index and HTML and browser. So your dashboard will go to the app. App will send to the index. Index will send to the browser. Correct? Your product will go to the app. App will send to the index. Index will send to the browser. Similar way, user will go to the app. Sign up will go to the app. Login will go to the app. But at a time, how many pages can go to the app? All the pages are only one page. Not necessary only one, not necessary all, based on our condition. At a time, 2 pages also we can send to the app, and app will send both the page to the index. At a time, 1 page also we can send to the app, and app will send to the index. That is called routing. Okay, that is called as a routing. So entire page control, which page should be displaying to the browser, when it will display, all the controls we can write under this file. Call it a app.js file. Since all the files are coming here only, we can apply the if else condition. You remember switch case? Previous people also I was teaching the same thing. If else we can write if there is a range condition. Switch case we can write if there is an exact condition. User will click on login, URL will change to the login. We can change URL is login, then call the login component. If URL is dashboard, then call the dashboard component. Switch case will help you. Two way we have, one is through the switch case, one more is through the another way. Okay, we'll guide you both. Now in this way, you can create the static pages. Your page will take the input. Since it is JavaScript, it will do the process, and after that it will give the output. But it will not store for the future purpose because it is all are the JavaScript. Everything is a JavaScript, right? Now to store for the future purpose, you have to make some kind of adjustment in the backend. You have to set up a backend server, maybe your own server, maybe purchase from the cloud, or maybe do anything, but set up a backend server. Backend server, it may be within the server or maybe out of the server, anywhere. Okay, set up a backend server, write the maybe PHP code, write maybe Java code, write maybe .NET code, write maybe Node code, Node.js code, and using that create the web service here. Web service. Okay, this web service will deal with the database. Here will be database. Okay, next after that, this web service will be responsible to bring the data from the front end and give the data to front end. How it will happen? Let me guide you again. I think I have created already last time. Here you will be writing the SQL query. You will write the SQL or maybe some other way. Okay, through SQL or through some other way, what we can do, we can communicate with the database. Okay, and after that, your data will go to the database and your data will come from the database. To whom? Backend. React has no any feature to communicate with the database. Keep in mind, if anyone is asking, using React, how can you send the data to database? You can say, I need the backend. We need the API. Then only we can send. React has no any feature to communicate with the database. Okay, you can tell to anyone, React has no any feature to communicate with the database. React can communicate with the database based on this particular condition. What is that condition? We have to create a API call between where to where? Between front end to backend. Okay, between front end to backend, we have to do a API call, and that API will be written in the backend any language, no problem. After that, what will happen? React can send the request to the backend, and backend can take the request, process the data, and give the response. Right? So this will happen. Between front end to backend, you are going to establish a link using the API, and this API will be helpful to carry your data in the form of this one. In the form of this one called a JSON, right? JSON data. Okay, this point will be called as a API point. API, right? This API point is responsible to carry the data from the front end to back end as well as back end to front end. Now see, when the matter is to deal with the browser, to send the data to the browser, login will communicate with the app, sign up will communicate with the app, user list will communicate with the app, product will communicate with the app, dashboard will communicate with the app. For what purpose? To sending the output to the browser. Now suppose user list has to come. User list, like 100 users are there. So question is, where is the users? Users is here under the database. Product you have 5,000. Where is that? Under the database. Dashboard, you want to display total product, total users. So this all will come from where? Yes, dashboard is one side. It is linking to the app and app is dealing with the browser. Fine. Output has it is applied. Okay, product is linking to the app and app is dealing with the browser. Okay, fine. But where this dashboard and product and user will come, where the data will come. For that, you have to go ahead with this point. I'll make little fat line and another color. This is all this. Your user list can communicate with the API. Your sign up can send the data to API. Login can authenticate through the API. Product list will come from the API. Dashboard will get the data from the API. So all the data is coming from where? API. Then you will say under the user list, how I will get the data? 2 days before I have given you the fetch method. Remember? Using fetch method in the user list, you will bring the data and give to app and app will give to the browser. Fetch function remain same. Okay, one more method we have Axios. I'll guide you both. Fetch you have seen, I'll guide you the fetch as well as Axios. So the communication of this entire, if you are able to manage, then somewhere stability will come in the market. You can survive easily. Okay. But if you are confused, I created a page, how I will display in the browser. I created a page, how I will get the data from front end, back end, will be difficult to manage. So clear? Now we'll create a file called dashboard. We'll create a file called dashboard, and after creating the dashboard file, where it will link to? After creating the dashboard file, where we'll call it? We'll call under the app. After app, no need to do anything. App is already dealing with the browser. If you create one product.js file, where you will call? App.js. All the file you are going to call app.js. People also can ask you, can you change the file name of app? The app.js can be some other file also. We can say yes, it can be any file name. It's a JavaScript. We can write our own file, home.js. And in home.js, we can call everyone. And home.js will deal with the index.js. Even the people can ask you, the product dashboard can deal with the index directly. Yes, it can. Dashboard is going to where? App. App is going to the index. Dashboard can go directly to indexes. Correct? Then the question will come, why these 3 steps? One is the HTML, one is the index.js, one more is the app.js. Then your files. Why 3 steps? You can say we are keeping our file very far from the browser so that users should not reach to our actual logic. Right? Where is the logic? Under the app.js. App.js is getting the data from where? Signup.js. Page will run, but when you do right click and view source, it will show you only one line. Understood? Page will run, but if you do right click and view source, it will show you only one line. It will not display, but other language, if you do right click and view source, it will show you all the code. But Angular and React will display only one line. It will not display multiple lines. And which is that line? That is written under the index.html. Okay, in index.html, one line is written, one division, that division will show it will not display anything. If someone will come through right click view source, they will become surprised, oh, nothing is there, yeah. But when the output was coming, it's coming as equals. Okay. Let me show you. One website was running, whether it is there or not. Okay. Dashboard dot. Okay, see this website is developed using the React. You can see React symbol is there on the top. Okay, I'll go to the profile page. Some content appear here. Dashboard page, some content appear here. Right click view source. How many lines? Can you see anything? Any dashboard and anything is written? No, no. Let me go to the other page where there will be more content. Service page. Let it load. This many page content are there, no? Right click, view page source. Anything is showing? Look at here. Can you see this? ID equal to root. The root is the division where at runtime the content will come. and it will display. When you do the right click view source, it will say, sorry, content is not there. This all why they have made multi-level security reason. People should not see the content of the page. Okay. Will develop, will come to know automatically. Okay, so this photo, see one person become irritated, so he log out. Once you go for interview, final manager round, someone will ask, have done any project in React? You will say, yes, I have done. Of course, I have. You will not say I have done. You will say, of course, I have done. Correct? Next, he will ask, okay, then do one thing, design one layout. What is the structure of the React project? Correct? What is the structure of the React project? You will open the mobile, start searching on internet. Take photo, keep with you. It's a helpful experience of last 15 years. Okay. Photo le lo aap. It can be little. I have not added the middleware inside. I have not added any Redux. I have not added anything. It is just plain React. Plain React without any middleware, without Redux and all. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Next step is save this file. Further, we have a requirement. We will use it. I'll save it by the name of DFT. DFD. Okay, I've asked you to take the photo. Why? Because we have a person, his name is called Abhishek. Okay, Abhishek. Okay, he's from CMR IT college. He has still 3 paper backlog. Okay, I don't know when he will clear. He went for first interview for React, I think 1 year before, I guess. 1 year before, when the market has opened recently after lockdown. Okay, he went for interview. Before 1 day of his interview, I have designed something like this, and I have taken the photo, and that photo I updated in my WhatsApp status. Okay, this photo was in my WhatsApp status. Okay, he went for interview yesterday. Abhishek, and after that, first round clear, second round clear, third round he went. Manager asked, okay, if you have work on the project, if you have done some project in React, then design one layout of the how the React work. Okay, he has seen my status in the night. Okay, just took the photo and designed the same thing on the paper. And after 1 hour, he came directly here, and he said, like, you design what you have added in your WhatsApp status. Help me a lot today to get my offer letter. Manager round. He asked me to design the same thing. Okay. I just saw on your WhatsApp status. Same thing I also designed in my resume. Okay. And then I give a name. He said, like, excellent. I'm not saying it is very good, but it may help you. Okay. Right, on a spot, when someone will ask, right, while writing the code, will not have clear idea, okay, where I'm calling up. But if you have visibility, if you have some kind of something to have a look, okay, this is how it is happening, it's kind of support for you. Okay, go next. So we are going to create the next file under the which folder? Basic folder. A small changes will do. While learning the React, we will be splitting into 3 parts. One will be the basic folder. Under the basic folder, we'll keep only some basic files to understand the routing, to understand the map function, to understand the array reading, to understand some kind of reusable component, Those all file will keep under the basic folder. Okay. After that, we'll have one more folder called, you can say, this one called hooks. Inside the hooks, will implement all hooks related functionality. Okay. Functional component. Okay. And after that, we'll have one more folder. There will not spend much time. Class component, class example. There are 2-3 examples we'll create using class. How to maintain the state of a React using class. If you are getting the chance to work on existing project that is already developed 5 years before, guarantee that will be developed using the class component. You have to write the class component. If you are getting the opportunity to work on new project, that will be guaranteed using the functional component. Okay, so 70% time will spend for the functional component, 20% time will spend for the Redux after functional component, and the 10% time will spend for the class component. So that if in the future you will get the code somewhere of class component, you will not feel surprised what it is. Okay, you will feel okay, this is the class component and you can able to. But nowadays, next, I think from next batch onwards, I should not teach the class component. It's gone from market. We'll be teaching only functional component, but for you, I'll guide you. We'll spend some 3-4 classes to understand the class component. Okay, so under the SRC folder, you create the first folder, give the folder name called basic. Basic. Lot of files will come under the SRC, it will become huge file. So we are splitting now. Okay, some file under the basic folder, some file under the hooks folder, some file under the class component. Basic folder is ready. One. Next, under the SRC only, create one more folder that is called hooks. Hooks. Hooks should not be under the basic, both are separate folder. Click on SRC and again create the next folder called class. Okay, basic, class, and then 3 folders. Okay, hooks name. Do you connect this hooks word with the real life somewhere? Hooks. You know, hanger kind of thing. If suppose someone will say, set up the office, then start using. Another one will say, plug and play. Means everything is ready, go with the laptop, sit and start working. That is called as what? Hooks. Functionality is ready. You need to call it and hang somewhere. It will start working. That is called as what? Functional component. Functionality is ready. Now, according to need, you need to remember which function for what purpose. Call the function and just tag with your project. It will start working. That is called call the function and hang somewhere. It will start working from there. That's called a hooks. Hooks word is common in multiple framework. Hooks word is common in multiple framework. What word represent? Right, hook words I have used in multiple 6-7 technology. Everywhere the meaning is same. Okay, function is ready. Some functionalities exist. Some functionalities added later. Now the later added functionality is a new functionality that should be in such a way it should merge with the existing one and start using. Okay, so I have used the word called which one? Hanger kind of word. Okay, something is ready, just go and hang, start using. Go and hang and start using. Okay, that word is called as what? Hooks. Ready-made material, ready-made function. Just you need to call, understand how to use and start using. Okay. Okay, so basic folder you will go. Under the basic folder, you create a file. Give the file name call. Any file you can give. home.html. .js. In React, all the file will be with the extension of JS. All the file will be .js. Okay, our habit is to create the HTML file in Bootstrap, CSS, HTML and all. Now all the files will be JS. Their HTML and JavaScript will write together. you will see there is a huge freedom. Wherever you want to write JavaScript, wherever you want, you can write HTML. Okay. Syntax is made like that, JSX. Right? Home file is ready. Okay. Now in home.js file, we will write our old function what we used to write. Okay. Function my home. Okay. Function my home. So my home function you are writing. In the term of React, you will not call it a function. You will call it a component. And what type of component? Functional component. So it is a function only, no? It's a function, right? So it's become as a functional component. Okay. Come inside. Now after this function has to return something. So we'll write here call return, come inside, write a division, open close, h1, welcome home. Everyone should write it. Welcome home. Now after that, two more words you have to understand. Okay. Two more words we need to understand. What is that? When we say import, what is represent for you? What other word you can use instead of import? Any other word instead of import, similar word? That become point and cert, become reverse one. I'm asking instead of import, instead of cert, what you can use? T-cert? That only, no? So similar way, instead of import, what you can use? First, import meaning in what? Bringing something. Bringing something only, no? Bringing something. That's what. Instead of import, you can use bring. Bring means what? Bring. Import means also what? Bring. Correct? Okay. I'll use the word here called bring. If I use one more word here, not very similar, little similar, calling, also connect something similar. Let's go here. Use another word, export. What is that represent? Something like this. Export meaning is what? Send. Now these two words are very important in React and Angular. Okay. Import and export. Okay. Import and export. What import keyword says? Import keyword says like, suppose you have written one function in one file. One function you have written in one file and you want similar functionality in one more file. Understood? You have written one function for user list. You want to display user list again in one more page. So what you will do? You will write again. You will not write again. If you are writing again, that meaning you are doing a duplicate code. You are wasting the money of company. Correct or not? Same task you are doing again and again, that meaning you are wasting the money of the company. So in that case, import word will say, do one thing, this functionality is already written in another file. Instead of rewriting, import it. Import means what? Call it, bring it. Which one? Particular function. But again, condition is, you want to bring, but the function is ready to come or not. That is also matters. Correct? Some other country want to buy a bicycle from India. Is the India ready to send a bicycle? Correct? You have a bike. I want to buy your bike. It's my wish to buy. I want to buy, but are you ready to buy it? If you are ready to buy, that meaning export. You are ready to send it. If I am going to buy it, that meaning import. So import and export both are very linked together. If you want, when someone will allow. You can take, someone will allow. You want to call a function, but the function is ready to come or not. Correct? So if you want the function should be reused, you have to use called export. Means you are allowing it. Anyone can use you. That is called as a export. Wherever someone want to call, they can use call as a what? Import. Import meaning is bringing, export meaning is send. Correct? So here in now come to the React. Suppose we wrote a function called my home here. And this function, as per the design what we have written, where we want to use this function? In app.js file. In app only, yeah? This component has to go to where? App. App will deal with the index. Index will deal with the browser. So this function, where you want to send? You want to send to the app, correct? So this function should be export or not. This function should be allowed to go or not. It should be allowed to go, then only it will go, right? So for that purpose only you are going to write here the keyword call, which one? Export and function name. What is the function name? My home. But React says you have to use a keyword called as a default. What this default keyword represent? Default keyword represent there may be a chance in one page multiple component will be. In one page multiple function will be there. But which function will be leading function? Which function will be parent function? That function will be marked as a default. Okay. So what we are trying to do in this file, we wrote a function, we wrote a component, and we want this component should be used by anyone, wherever you want. Correct? For that purpose, what we said, we allowed it. How we allowed? With the help of keyword called export. Okay, with the help of keyword called export. Now export is clear. What is the meaning of export? Export meaning is you are allowing a function or a class or a variable or an array in one file so that it can be reused in another. That is called as what? Okay. Now we are going to import this one. Which one? My home. And in fact, until unless not export, you cannot import it. Means if seller is not ready to sell, you cannot buy it. Function is not ready to, you cannot call it. React will not allow. React will say it's not export. Means function is private function. You cannot call outside. Okay. Come now to the which file? App.js file. But home is in which folder? Basic folder. While calling, we have to remember home is under the basic. Okay. Come to the app.js file. In app.js file, you will write here call import. Import. What we want to import? My home. Make sure the function name what is have written in my home. The function name is nothing but is called a component name. And component name must start with the uppercase. So M is capital or not? Capital. If it's small, then you cannot call it. Okay. M should be capital. The first character must be capital. Okay. So, and same thing you need to export. Now come down. Import my home. Just to write my home. This suggestion is coming. Getting the suggestion on the top. Type my home. Suggestion will show you. Enter it. If not showing suggestion, write it manually. / represent current folder. So in the SRC folder, we have a folder called basic. Under the basic folder, we have a file called home.js. Since current file is also JS, and what file you are calling, that is also JS. So if you call it JS inside the JS, .js will be optional. You can write also, or you can leave also. Can you see here? Home, only what is written? Home. .js is not there. Correct? So if you want, you can write here. No problem at all. You can write here. Okay? So you are calling a function. Function name is called my home. And where it's calling from? Home.js file. How you are calling? With the help of keyword called import. How you can import? Because you have exported the function. You have allowed the function so that someone can call it. Okay. Right. Let's go ahead. Now ABC we have written. Welcome home here. There you have written. Correct. So the home app.js file, we are going to make little clean now. Okay. Let's write here call. Tell me.
And we export multiple components.
Learn no, one by one. If I mix everything together, then I will ask why we are calling maximal component. If you are able to call four-wheeler handle from the America, we can import their gear from the Pakistan also, no? Correct or not? If one part you are bringing from one place, other part you can bring from other place also. So there is no such regulation. You can import only one. You can import hundreds of the file. Okay, when to achieve a functionality, you will have a lot of requirement, right? So you will find, okay, I have written one function here, I have written one function here, I have written one function here. So why to rewrite again? Call the each function from multiple places and make one file, that's all. Right? So that's how we can create, okay? So I've written welcome app. Now come after welcome app, JavaScript. In our mind, we have a term called how to call the function. How to call the function in JavaScript? My home is a function or what? My home is a function only, no? My home is a function, right? Now suppose, let me write here, if my home is a function, if you are talking in JavaScript, you will write like this. You will call the function like this. Function name and then semicolon. This is the way to call the function. Where? In JavaScript. But in React under the JSX, you will not call like that. You will call the same function only, but just like the independent tag. Call my home. Slash in the last. Message. Okay. This is under the JavaScript in JS, and this is under the JSX. This is under the JSX, and this is under the pure JavaScript. The function, the way of calling is like this. So what is the app.js file? It is the pure JavaScript or JSX code. It is JSX code now. It is not pure JavaScript code. It is a JSX code. You got a function called my home. Let's go here. Just like a BR tag, it's called a element. Okay, independent element. Save the file, look into the browser. You will say a home file will call it. Welcome home will appear. Coming. Call here. Got it? Save now. Look into the browser. Welcome home is coming. The welcome home come from which file? Home.js file. Welcome app coming from where? App.js file, correct? So component we created, welcome home, and we called it. Let's go to the home file. So any error? No error? Go to the home file. In home file again, after h1, write a p tag and write some text inside. Write some text inside. Hello. Calling from. Okay. No, madam. I can't understand your language. And don't call me again. Okay. Save the file. Look into the browser. Anything is printing? Paragraph appear? No? कुछ एक्स्ट्रा R&D किए होंगे पक्का. और दिखाओ. बोले थे लेकिन आप सुना नहीं. I asked you the component names will start with the uppercase. They will start with lowercase. Okay. What component name will write here? Same thing. You will write under the app.js also. You pass here. Everywhere uppercase. Which one? The first character must be uppercase. Else it will not come. Okay. Done. Shall we create one more component? See, is calling here. Welcome home. Anyone error or working? Remaining. If you have error, you can let me know. I'll guide you. If no error, then okay. If any error is there, then fine. I will let you know. Okay, let's create one more component. Home we created. We'll create a component called about. In the same basic folder. Create a file about.js. About.js. आ रहा है क्या? Loading. Okay, about.js. In about.js again. Write here call. Little different way. Some changes we'll do here. Okay. Previous function what you have written home, it was the traditional way. It is not as per the ECMS 6, ECMAScript 6. We will write like this. From today onwards, whichever the functional component will write, will use the fat arrow method. Const about us. Okay. You will use that fat arrow method. Okay, you will write below again. Export default about us. So if anyone asks why you are using export default about us, what you will answer? If anyone asks in interview why we write export default component name, what will be the answer?
To import it somewhere.
Because we can say we want to use somewhere else. Single line, you say, because we want to use somewhere else. We want to import somewhere else. Okay. Return division H1. Okay. Write a paragraph here. Routers is working. Routers is done. Come to the app.js file. About us is ready. We'll go to the app.js. Again, we'll import here. Import about us from about.js. Right. Welcome app. Now you remove. And after that, right below about us. Welcome app you remove, right below called about us. Check now. Hope your components should work both. My home itself a component. About is also a component. Correct? Now, when two components you are calling together, both become independent. You cannot write individual. You must have to keep inside the parent tag. Okay. So here ABC you can remove and you can keep the empty tag just to complete the formalities. Saying like yes, you both are inside the parent. ABC is not required here. Okay. If you will not keep empty tag, then again JSX will throw the error. It will say like you are calling two element without parent. It's failing the rule of extensions. So call two element and keep inside a empty tag. Okay. So how to create the component? We got some idea. How to import the component? Import component from particular file name. How to print the component? Just call like is independent tag BRHR, right? Then import meaning is what? We are importing something, a function, variable, a class, a constant, a array. We can import from one file to other file. Okay. Export meaning is what? We are allowing so that someone can import it, or we are going to import it. For that purpose, we follow the export. Multiple way you can answer it. See, home is also coming, about is also coming. Yesterday on internet, we have seen React provide bit of code that can be reused, and that is called as a component. Something was similar, no? If you find the definition of component, what is that? It's reusable bits of code that return the set of HTML. Now here we have written the function called my home. We wrote the function called how to reuse it. Correct? How to reuse it. H1, BR, paragraph. How many times you can write in one page? So many times. Similar way, about us, copy, paste, 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 paste. That becomes a component reusability. Same component copy and paste how many times? N number of times. The component becomes a reused. You write function one time and you call how many times? Multiple times. Here function only we are calling but in different way. Called reusability. But still your function is static. It is not dynamic. It's not taking input. So when we want to understand how to take the output based on input, that's called a props in real. It's called a props. Copy paste about and see how it is happening. Is it giving multiple times or not? Multiple times is coming, right? So what is the reusability of the component? We create once and we use many times. That is called as a component reusability. But our component is, as of now, is a static. Every time it will give the same output. Every time it will give the same output. Want to make it dynamic, but not now. After attending 4-5 classes, we'll come to now called props. One component will pass, not component. In JavaScript, you remember function with parameter. Function with parameter. When we call a function, we pass 10, 20. It will return us the 30. That is called as what? Argument and parameter. In the term of React, you will pass the value similar, but it will be called as a props or the properties. You will create your own variable and you will pass the value from one place to other place. While calling this function, we can pass like this. Suppose, hold on. We can pass like this, n1 equal to 10. n1 equal to 10. So what will happen now? n1 represent the property and 10 represent the value. Now about us component should receive the n1 and print the value of n1. That becomes what? Props. But we will not go to there as of now. You will sleep. Just let it be till here. Okay. So reusability is nothing but same component we call again and again. That's becoming a component reusability. Remove it. Let only one time. Now create one more component called header. Create a component called header and call before my home. First create a file called header.js and component name will be called my header. Listen it properly. Create a file header.js and the name of the component will be called my header. Where you will create? Under the basic folder. After creating that, print inside h1 hello header and import before my home. Call before my home. Import as usual how we are doing, but print before my home. We'll wait few minutes for you. After that, even I will also write, but you try. Component name is called, file name is header, and the function name is called my header. You will import and you will print it before my home. You will import it and you will print it before my home. If you have written, you can send me the code of your header component in the chat. I will use the same code. Send your code in the chat. I will use the same code. Header.js. Something like this. My home change to header. My home change to header. Hello sir, where are you? Okay. 5-10 minutes. Oh, you are taking right turn. Okay, okay. Please come. I think you have a location, no? And next to Kala Mandir. I can sorry, sir. Okay, please come. I'm waiting for you. Okay, my header, you will be calling before my home. Call before my home. Now your case should work. Something like this. Header on the top. Right? Header on the top. So React look like difficult or easy? कैसा लग रहा है? Easy लग रहा है? Looking easy or difficult? Interesting. You understood my point. If you want to survive in IT industry, you should never use the which word? Difficult. In meeting, we should never say, sir, it's difficult. I can't do. Then the manager will say it's difficult to manage your salary. We'll hire someone else. We cannot say interesting, else entire difficult work will come to you only. You should say, yes, I can try, I will do it. It is not difficult. Okay, attend regular classes 4 days. Only 4 days you attend regular class. After that, you will feel like lot of confidence will come. But if you miss any one class, then I don't know. Attend regular classes. I have sent you the link yesterday video. You can follow that. And today also I'll send you. Request will be only one. Don't forward that link to friends. Don't forward the links to unknown people. Okay. Clear now? Because assume like you paid the money for that, correct? And if that content will go, but between the public, meaning your 12,000 you sprayed on the road. समझे कि नहीं? So confidential. I hope you will manage it. See, we are spending a lot of energy now to speak, correct? Building rent. You are coming from your home, you are sitting here, internet cost, throat is paining, still I am speaking. After spending a lot of energy and everything, if the video get ready and video is someone utilize the free of cost, sitting in home, sleeping time is bad for us. So I hope you will manage it little and you will not share with anyone. Just keep with you only. Okay. So thank you. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow after class, I will guide you what to do. Tomorrow we'll attend the class. After tomorrow class, I'll give the homework. Okay. Set up the project and doing something. But today till here is okay. If you want to read something, read from internet, fine it all. Okay. Tomorrow we will be learning the important point of React, that is called applying the CSS, creating the navigation, applying the routing. Based on the click, the page has to load. That is called what? Routing. Okay. Okay, important, VVI, very, very important. So hope you will not miss and you will join on time.